She's coming too. Can you hear me, Samus? Vital signs are stable. Welcome back, Samus. You've been asleep for quite some time. A month, to be exact. We feared we'd lost you. Thanks to your great work, Norion is now safe. At the end of the battle, we found you and the other hunters all unconscious. Our medical examinations then yielded surprising results. Your bodies are now, somehow, self-generating Phazon. What's even stranger is that there are no negative effects to your health. This led us to investigate if we could make effective use of this Phazon. During the invasion on Norion, you must have noticed some powerful troopers in new suits. They were wearing what we call Phazon Enhancement devices, or PEDs. We integrated this same Phazon Enhancement device into your armor while repairing your damaged bodysuit. Troopers wearing this device have Phazon pumped to their weapons from an external backpack. This gives them an extra boost in firepower. But in your case, think about it. With this Phazon coursing through your body, you can fuel the PED using your own internal energy. Pretty effective, don't you think? Why don't you try the PED now? Seal the room. Initiate PED program.
Recharging energy reserves. Training complete.
You must have noticed during this test that Hyper Mode possesses devastating power. Over the past month, we've learned the hard way just how powerful our enemies are. To deal with them, you'll need the firepower of the PED suit. Make good use of it. Now that you are familiar with the workings of the PED device, the Aurora Unit 242 would like to meet with you. There are many pressing matters to discuss. The AU chamber is located just off the command bridge. You'd better get going. Good luck. Oh, and one more thing. After 25 seconds, the safety feature automatically ends hyper mode. You'll have to keep paying attention.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Metroid Prime 3. We got the PED suit and the Hyper Beam with it. So, I didn't talk through what we really did there, but yes, you press and hold plus and you inject an energy tank, and that then becomes your power for power mode. The more you use the Phazon beam, the Hyper Beam, the more it will deplete. So, if we go into it here, you can see you can fire individual shots at the Hyper Beam with that, or, my favourite, you can press and hold and then go blarg. And you deliver a continuous stream there. But you'll notice if I press and hold plus to go back, we did use up that energy. So you essentially fire your health at people. This is one of many reasons why energy tanks are really nice, because you can essentially... New energy tanks are as much ammunition now we've got hyper mode as they are weapons defensive kind of things, which is really, really handy to have that ability. Because I've said so far that this game can be a little bit on the easier side, at least in the early stages, as you don't take much damage from anything. But now we have an ability like, oh, if you're struggling to damage an enemy, but also you've got a fair amount of health, just inject a tank and just blast it into them that way. It's quite cool. And I can see no side effects at all from the fact that my body is naturally producing Phazon. None whatsoever in a game that's subtitled Corruption. Anyway, with that done, if we head to the bridge here, you'll notice we now have this room here.
Samus, you made it. Glad to hear you're feeling better. You've been cleared to enter the AU chamber. Please proceed through these doors and up the lift. The Aurora unit is expecting you. Subject Samus Aran entering AU lift area. Security clearance 5 granted. Clearance confirmed, G5. Opening chamber vault.
Well, this alone tells you that the Aurora units are under pretty high security. If we scan this, it will tell us communication platform allows users to interact with the Aurora unit. Use the terminal, and this here is the unit itself. The Aurora unit tank sits as the heart of all Federation battleships, unable to see through the liquid solution. Spooky.
Aaron. Let us begin. Time is most critical. During the attempted pirate invasion of Norian, it was confirmed that 2 nearby planets were similarly attacked. These planets are named Brio and Elysia. These Leviathans have impacted and embedded themselves deep into each planet, spreading a virulent Phazon carried inside their bodies. The Leviathans must be destroyed. 2 weeks ago, we dispatched Rundus to Brio, Gore to Elysia, while Gandreda was sent to locate the space pirate stronghold. Like you, they were outfitted with PED devices in order to confront this new threat. We lost contact with all of them 7 days ago, and fear the worst. In their absence, we need you to travel to these planets and finish their missions. The closest planet is Brio. This will be your first objective. Please be on the lookout for any clues that might help us understand what happened to Rundus and the other hunters. Good luck. Samus, the fleet is now moving to the rendezvous location. You will no longer be able to dock with us from this point forward. Rest assured, we will keep communication lines open and supply you with information when necessary. Good luck on Brio.
I must say, I do really like the design on the Aurora units. They're kind of, for a like semi-organic supercomputer, they nailed the look pretty well. So, we've actually got 3 planets here. We've got Norian that we've already been on, there's Brio, which are target, and there's actually Elysia, which is where Gore went, but we don't want to go there yet. We actually want to head to Brio, and this is one of the things that's quite unusual about this game compared to the other Metroid Prime ones. You have different planets that you fly between rather than like areas of the same planet. It feels much more bigger that way. Good one. So, welcome to Brio, a singularly incredibly cool looking planet. You've got a lot of stuff going on just visually speaking. Over there is the Leviathan, our target, and hey, you know, let's start by scanning things. Look at this massive bastard. Moginar-class war golem is offline and trapped within stone mass. This unit is beyond repair. That might be for the best because of the bloody size of it. This one's incomplete. Sculpting process was halted 328 years ago.
Samus, the Leviathan seed is protected by an energy shield. You will not be able to reach it with that barrier active. We need more data to determine how the shield can be disabled. You are near the wreckage of a downed Federation vessel. If you can use the satellite uplink on the ship, you may be able to access information concerning the seed. Prepare to receive the ship's coordinates now.
So, if we bring up our map with 1 now, we can see the ship is over there. So that's our kind of goal for now. But I'm also going to scan stuff, because you know it's me, and I like the old backstory in these games. Centuries ago, these beacons were designed to guide ships safely to landing in harsh weather. Seems like harsh weather relying on a fire might not be the best move, but hey. Pillar runes are composed of organic stone that is native to Brio, originally placed to greet travellers. There's a lot of original and like history stuff. These things will come across them more later, but they're little night barbs. Generate a protective energy field. Contact with it is dangerous. Weathered altar ruins were once part of a much larger structure. Its original purpose is unknown. Then we got this little thing, a spike bush. It's an indigenous plant that produces venom within its leaves. And it hurts you if you touch it, because it's a spike bush. Actually, no, it doesn't. It's only if you shoot it. I don't know. Maybe I made all of that up. Anyway, on the wall here is a proper scan. This is a cash plant, a mature cash plant that has fully developed bark that can only heavy beams and explosives can damage. That mature cash plant is in contrast to... where the fuck be it? Also, look, see there, you can see Samus's eyes, and as I move that around, her eyes actually follow it. It's just a nice little feature. Budget, as I keep saying. Up here, yes, we have an immature cash plant, used by Bionians to store field supplies and vital gear. Ha! I get it. Cash plant, as in C-A-C-H-E, like a supply of things. That's all very clever. We also have, don't forget to scan, the new type of door, the Briar Blue Door. This heavy-ticket door contains low-level energy shield that you can disrupt with beam weaponry. Classic. And this is interesting here. You got a huge chunk of ice on the wall. Brio native is encased in solid ice. Scans indicate that the bioform inside is still alive. Oh, poor bastard. And you've got another one here. I should probably just keep the scan visor up, you know. Bioform appears to have been engaged in combat at the time of being frozen. It's all very interesting. Above our heads here, is a hopper nest. The exterior is incredibly durable. Life signs detected within. New enemy? God, there's so much scanning here. A Gragnol. A lack of exoskeleton makes it agile, but weak to most weapons. Gragnols are really easy to fight. You just gotta target them and shoot them. They're this game's equivalent to like war wasps or some nonsense like that. You'll also notice on the floor is a solid ice mass that appears to have been made to gain access to the temple. Ice has not begun yet to thaw, so this must be a solid chunk of ice underneath us. That's vaguely scary. Up ahead here, we've also got 2 new scans. We have got a Brio coffer that has weapon in it. Weapons like an ammo and things in it. Not weapons, but yes. And a large Brio coffer, which contains slightly more things and requires a slightly charged shot to break into it. So, we've got quite the puzzle here, and while I'm solving it, I'm going to play the music for... Oh, the music's not even there. God damn it. So basically, the music here is strange. It sounds like it has lyrics. Next time we hear it playing clearly, I'll let it play and see... I want people to say in the comment what they think the lyrics to the music are. Because it's always very amusing for me to see. I didn't want to come that way, actually. That was just a way back, because the platform we were walking over crumbled. Oh, that's cool. Dynamic weather, look at that. It just randomly started raining, and after a bit it'll stop. That's something that no other Metroid Prime game has done so far. Up here, we can now drop down to this first point and blow it up. As the game goes forward, we get a bit more information on the Bryonians, but we don't get why they have stuff that's clearly designed for morph balls and morph ball bombs in their city. Well, in their planet. But, hey, I guess we can't have all the answers. This is something strange. These are Phazon night barbs. The group forms powerful attack. Group forms... Oh. No, that doesn't make any sense. Group forms powerful attack. Huh. But it can be overloaded to destroy them. So yes, they'll form together and do that powerful attack, and that's when to hit them. So you target them, and you can't really do anything at this point. Wait until they'll swirl together, and then they'll start forming some green nonsense, and that's your chance to hit them. Well, while I solve the rest of this, I'm going to I'm going to put the music on. Well, there we go. We've opened the door. What do people think to the music? Firstly, I'm going to scan these things. This is a gel puffer. Consumes and emits fuel gel fumes. Explodes when ruptured. So this is the same as like a puff sack, or every game had some version of it. So a thing that explodes and will drop some nastiness on you when it's done exploding. But we're not only back at the start with that nonsense in the way, but we've also... Ow, fuck me. We have to go around this way, which is why I put the gel puffers here. I see. But this, yeah, the music, I can't unhear it as someone say either pounds and pounds of beef or 1,000 pounds of beef. And that's stuck in my head forever, and now I just hear pounds and pounds of beef. And pounds and pounds and pounds of beef. It's weird but it just will not leave my head. Anyway, you notice I grappled that ball around, and we have 2 ways to go here. This way here has a new enemy on it. Hooray! These little fellows are hoppers. Attacks with razor-sharp talons. Pounces from a distance. Well, then we'll missile them from a distance. That was not as effective as I was hoping, quite frankly. I need to always remember to use missiles. No harm in it, certainly. Beyond here, we also have various things. We have... an energy tank. Really nice. They essentially just hand you that one on a plate. It's easy to get to. And then up here you have a panel mounting that appears to be weak from age. May be ripped off with enough force. Yoink. And behind it is some lore. Let's find out about Brio. The Golden Age. Look now to the past and to the time of peace on Brio. Or Brio. I call it Brio because Brio is like that little thing with the wooden trains. See the age of gold, when our world it was a paradise unrivaled. Hear the songs of joy fill the streets of the royal city as the people could honour the coming of Brius I, the Liberator. Behold the launch of our first ship to the stars on that day, and witness the rise of science, of a new Brio. See this, and you will see the beginning of our downfall. Yeah, did anyone ever have Brio when they were a kid? Is that a British thing, or do Americans have that as well? There's like little wooden train tracks that you can attach together like Lego or Connects or something, and then you got little... We had a battery-powered train because we were posh that would go along it, and you could have like little bridges and stuff. Oh, it was great fun. But that's why I don't call it Brio, because that sounds weird. So I will call it Brio. Ah, Shriek Bats! Let's see if we can scan them before they hit us! Yes, look at that. Brionian Shriek Bat. Aggressive ceiling dweller that dive bombs approaching organisms. I'm always amazed by in the Metroid Prime world how many animals are entirely suicidal, and what does make you think, how would that survive? Evolve, even. Crack through that with a missile, and we get into a new area with another new scan in it. We're in a new area, so we're going to be getting a lot of new scans. This is a shell bug with a single L. Attacks by firing Phazon spines. Soft body is vulnerable to attack. Indeed it is. Right, we've got something up here. Well, we've got a lot of stuff up here. Ah! What hit me? Oh, is there another shell bug that I missed? Yep, that absolutely is. So, we've got this thing. Phazon vines imperious to attack, but growths are vulnerable to Phazon-based weaponry, which we'll deal with in a sec. There's also some ice here, which has an abnormality in its unnatural ice formation. Phazon signatures present. That's not encouraging. But before dealing with any of that, we want to go back here and blow up that statue. Charge beam apparently you need rather than a missile, and with that we can proceed up here. Another shell bug, close enough. And in here is a lovely little missile expansion. Wonderful. So, this structure down here, it said, can be destroyed with Phazon, and it's got these little blue blobs on it that always means a kind of Phazon targeting thing. So, let's go into hyper mode and destroy them. I really thought something happened there. Well, I guess what I'm thinking of must be later. Nice easy way at least of taking out these hoppers is a nice combination of just charge shots and missiles. Ah, time for an irritating new enemy. So, these annoying little bastards are Reptilicus Hunters. The target can generate a personal cloaking field around its body. Yes, they can. And there's what annoys me about Reptilicuses, Reptilici? I don't know. Is there's no real good way of fighting them. Both charge shots and missiles just seem to kind of bounce off them. They don't bounce off them, they do them damage, but there's not like at least at the moment, with our current weaponry, there's not much of an obvious strategy for fighting them. You basically just got to keep shooting them until they go away, I suppose. I could use hyper mode, but I can't be arsed. Actually, I can be arsed, fuck it. Let's eject energy tank. At least you can rinse them pretty quickly with hyper mode. Hyper mode does feel in a lot of ways quite overpowered, because it is quite powerful, but it's just, the cost of it comes of every shot you fire with it is you're basically draining your own health. But if, like me, you tend to get a lot of energy tanks, it can be useful to then use hyper mode to make your life a little bit easier. And on that note, I think we'll end it here. Oh, I'll scan some of the stuff around here. There's a massive war golem again embedded in the floor, not the spike bush. There we go. Moganar class war golem is without power, unable to activate with current suit upgrades. God, that's terrifying. That's something to look forward to in the future, you know. For now, ooh, there's like a space elevator or something up there. We're going to hold it there. So thank you very much for watching. We've got our own little Phazon enhancement device, and we're following on the trail of Rundus. Next episode, we'll be diving further into Brio to try and find out what has happened here and what's happened to him. Hope you'll join me then. Thank you very much, and good day.